स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Sri Ramakrishna, in the last class we read, I am reading again. God is born as man for the purpose of sporting as man. Rama, Krishna and Chaitanya are the examples. By meditating on the incarnation of God, one meditates on God himself. Sri Ramakrishna is slowly introducing himself to the believers. See, you need not go here and there, run about anywhere. I am here with you. Meditating on me, you will reach your goal. Sri Ramakrishna is, those who believe in me will reach. I am that Supreme Being which has come in human form. He is presenting himself to the believers. You see, when Buddha gets enlightenment, he comes down and first thing he utters is Apavrutam Swargasya Dwaram He Shrotravanta Vimanchantu Shraddham. He says, I open the doors of perfection to heaven. Heaven doors are open to perfection. I open the doors of heaven to perfection. Really, those who hear me, He Shrotravanta, those who listen to me, those who hear me, release your faith. Most of the people do not hear the call of God. If you hear the call and start moving towards perfection, even Naren, who was brought down by the Lord for the purpose of reformation of the world, he himself, having taken a human birth, takes so much of time to accept Sri Ramakrishna, who has brought him down here. He finds it difficult, as if he is not able to accept it. What to speak of other people? They themselves find it so difficult. Now, you see, He Shrotravanta, I call someone, if he doesn't respond, he has not heard my words. I tell someone, come here. If he has heard, if he has turned deaf ears, he will not come. If he has not heard, he will not come. If he is deaf also, he will not come. So after hearing means his soul must hear. The soul must. Most of the instruction, even to sadhakas, are dropped off because they are not in a receptive state yet. They have not raised themselves to transform their life in the proper direction. So, when God makes all the arrangements and then gives all the instruction, finally He leaves the right and decision to be taken by the. We can take the horse to the river, to the water, but to drink or not finally depends upon it. There, Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita After telling 18 chapters, this 17 chapters is Krishna's words only. After telling whole thing, finally he says, Yathechasi Tata Kuru. What all I have to tell, I have told. What all I have to show, I have shown. What all I can show. Vishwarupa shows. He explains the whole Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. Everything, every bit. And finally reveals also, I am here as the universe. Look, I am the operator. Give up your ego. He is not able to. Finally he says, Yateshasi Tata Guru. Now, its decision is your ball is in your court. You have to take the decision. The power and authority to take a decision, he lives to. So, like that, when Sri Ramakrishna has taken the incarnation, God has come down in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. He is indicating, he is hinting, he is giving an inkling to understand he is the incarnation in front of you. So he is telling there, he is meditating on an incarnation of God. He is meditating on God himself. Bhagwan Das, a Brahmo devotee, arrived, master, to Bhagwan Das. The eternal religion, the religion of the rishis, has been in existence from time out of mind and will exist eternally. This is the only assurance that we presently have. Though it satisfies all our intellectual understanding and reasoning and logic, it satisfies. Because the whole system is not something given by a person because of the situations of the world and gone away. It is standing like a tree. It has grown from nothing to a tree giving fruit. This religion of Hinduism on realization of God. Every sage who came, I am free from nature. I have transcended the nature. He told and went. The first thing we see in Upanishads, Vedahamedam. I have known that person. Vedahamedam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat Tameva Viditva Atimrutyumeti Nanyaf Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya. The only thing that can take us beyond this nature, beyond this creation, to the life eternal is possible only by realizing God and whom I have realized. The two things I have realized, you too can realize. This is the path I went. You too can go by that path. And everything is kept within you. You need not search anywhere for anything. It is within you. The capacity to transcend nature, the capacity to meditate, capacity to renounce, capacity to take the right path and walk through is within you. Nature has kept what all you need to transcend the nature. She has not only brought you here because of your karmas alone, but has given a human body which can stand and strive to transcend the nature. And human body is exclusively given with that intelligence and all the needs to transcend the nature and go beyond. So this one thing, first thing is, I have realized. The second thing, you too can realize. These are the two assurances God gives. I have. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna says, Naren goes and asks, have you realized God? He says, not only that I have realized God, I can make you realize God. I have not only I have seen God, I have seen God more real, more intensely than I am seeing you physically now. Have you any doubt that I am seeing you physically now? More clear, more real than this world that in Vyavarika Jagat I am seeing. Last, while telling about himself also, he says, the Rama and Krishna, who was Rama, who was Krishna, is here in this body, just covered in this body as Ramakrishna. He doesn't end with that. He says, not according to your Vedanta. According to Vedanta, everybody is incarnation of God. Aham Brahmasmi, everybody is Aham Brahmasmi. Not according to that. Because an enlightened soul has no power to alter the creation or give mukti to anybody. He cannot erase the karma of anybody and give them mukti. He is enlightened, he is one with God, but he doesn't get the powers of God. But incarnations have the powers of God to transform the world, to transform the individual, to give mukti to anybody. They have that power. They retain the power. So here we see a great change and transformation, that Sri Ramakrishna is not only telling that I have realized God, He has come down to make you realize God, to go beyond we must only have that faith, and the moment the faith comes, we understand our helplessness. I can't. Any amount of sadhana, any amount of tapas, any amount of fasting, any amount of struggle, I won't be able to overcome the powers of nature. Only way is I have to surrender to the divine. That surrender, unconditional surrender, it demands unconditional surrender. So that is the only way. Nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. There is no other way. The only way for us is to unconditionally surrender to Lord. You take me. You reveal yourself to me. I can't. So the acceptance of incarnation of God first awakens the viveka and vairagya in us. The viveka, viveka is nitya vastu viveka. That is, what is nitya, what is anitya. Anitya, I may get somebody did not tell me something, somebody scolded me. All these are anitya. Somebody has insulted me. Somebody has taken away my things. All this. Even otherwise, if somebody has given you something also, it will go away. Somebody has taken away from you, also go away. Somebody has insulted you, also will go away. Or somebody has praised you, also will go away. So this is anitya. A mantra given by Guru. It is taking me to the eternal, keeping me linked to the eternal. Nitya. Mantra is Nitya. Guru has given is Nitya. The Ishtadevata is Nitya. My calling on God is Nitya. Nitya vastu viveka. This world as God is Nitya. This world as world is anitya. So this nitya vastu viveka is one with this viveka. That another viveka is, I won't be able to do, you have to do. This viveka makes me surrender. That Nityanistya Vastu Viveka makes me clear my understanding regarding God. This makes me the surrender. I can't do. I've tried. I can't keep the mind constantly on you for even few minutes, few seconds properly. I'm not able to forget this world, forget my body. As I go into sleep, I totally forget this world. There is no presence of this world or my bodily existence. I am not able to do with all love for you, dedication. I am not able to lose my body awareness. I am not able to forget, and constantly, and with this I preserve ego, and that ego each time when it gets hurt, that this ego is not only giving me pain, giving pain to others. Important point is ego doesn't end with giving pain to you and putting you in bondage and bringing limitations, putting limitations upon you, but it is a cause of suffering for the others who are around. Wherever there is clash, whether it is at the political level or at individual level, at family level, any level, it is ego clash. So at human level, what all we do is at human level, and it is ego doing. That ego is very difficult to suppress and control. So I can't. How I react, how do I do? I cannot be like a child. I cannot be your, that to acquire, imbibe your qualities. I am overpowered by my tendencies. This is another Viveka which makes you surrender. You have to do for me. You have to do for me. So in that you have to do it begins slowly, it goes to the root level. I want to go for bath. I can't. You have to take me for bath. From that, I can swim. I can jump into the water. I can do anything. Because swimming is a play for me. From there, I can't get into the water. Knowing everything, having all the powers, if you are not there, I am not there. You see Arjuna, when he gets the news that Krishna is leaving his body, Hastinapura news comes from the Dwarka, and then he says, I am only a pillow cover now. I can't move myself. Inside, once Krishna is no more there, I cannot be there. What all I did was because of his strength. And I can't even go and face the situation. How that I have become a pillow cover without a stuff inside. But for God, we are nobody. But for even we cannot face one proper person in fighting or catching, or anybody can do anything with me. Two people come, they can just put me under the earth. What strength have I got? What power have I got? Nothing. But if God is with me, everything is all right. I have nothing to worry. Like a child is incapable of everything. He is not able to properly walk, but his mother is there with him to make him walk or carry him if he is not able to walk. So that faith, viveka and vairagya, dispassion towards a world. All these appear. How they appear, you see. They slowly, just an acceptance. He is God. He is God. So that God has to instill that understanding, making way in that forest-like mind, which is full of weeds, where the seed cannot reach, or like a stone, huge stone blocks, only stone, no mud, no clay. Seed is there, which can never germinate. It can wait for centuries together. It cannot germinate itself. So goes the lifestyle. So here we see, you are there, I am there. You are there, this world is there. You are there, we are all there. If you are not, there no. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna, the eternal region. We see everything is depending and is a source of everything. Is in Hinduism, everything is linked to spiritual and eternal principles. The human life, how the eternal principles of nature is governing human life, its existence, its coming, its going, its transformation, everything is linked to the eternal principles governing human life. It is not so in other religions. So, Hinduism has, the Buddhism and Jainism are all, of course, offshoots of Hinduism. Otherwise, you will not see in the Western religions this concept of transcendence also, transcendental existence. Maximum they go is universe and a little beyond the Lord of the universe. That's all. Nothing more. The transcendental, eternal. It is not the eternal principles. Here in Hinduism, eternal principles. Ramakrishna is the eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma, which has no beginning, or because nature has. Then we are taking just laws of nature alone. Living according to laws of nature is Dharma. The eternal religion, the religion of the rishis, has been in existence from time out of mind. Manatita. You can, however you imagine how far it must have been there, it's beyond that. Time out of mind, and will exist eternally. It will never, because now the law of nature to understand, gravity, gravitational force. Throw the stone above, it comes back to the earth. Each object is pulling the other. Whatever we all humans together may say it is going to end or it is not there. It is going to be there. The eternal, because it is eternal law. Law of gravity is eternal. Whether you accept it or not, it is a law. Whether you utilize it or not, it's a law. So it is eternal law. So only we did not identify it, we did not perceive it. Nobody showed this is called gravitation. Newton was first to identify that, which is eternally there. He showed every object pulls the other. Gravity, it's called gravitation. So gravitation was not invented by Newton, nor it ends with Newton. It's going to continue. The rishis only discovered the realities and presented to us. God is this, God impersonal, God personal, the universe, all this. What is there? They realized and told us. They are neither invented nor given a thing which is to be followed for transformation. No. So this here, Sri Ramakrishna says, it will exist eternally. There exists in Sanatana Dharma all forms of worship. Whatever you find in this universe, anywhere from ancient time to today and in future possibly, is there in Hinduism. Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta, Advaita, any type of worship, any type of approach to God, bhakti, jnana, karma, whatever way you want to approach God, or other religions or anybody is approaching, is there already in Hinduism. What is there in Hinduism may not be there in any of the religion, but whichever religion or the path to God, independent of religion also, path to spirituality, the spirit and spirituality is there in Hinduism. The worship of God with form, worship of the impersonal as well, everything is there in Hinduism. It contains all paths, the path of knowledge, path of devotion and so on. Other forms of religion, the modern cults will remain for a few days and then disappear. So many spiritual institutions we see, including Brahmo Samaj, they appear for some time, support a small group of people to strive, and in time disappears. So many institutions are around now, spiritual institutions, one-man show. They will last for some time and go. For a tradition to continue, there must be literature, there must be renunciates, Tyagigana, and then there must be small ritualistic part. Small, simple Sandhyarti, small worship, simple worship with a few things within your reach to collect and do rituals, and then literature must be there, scriptures. Ramakrishna Mission has its own scriptures, including Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So, scripture must be there. Renunciates, most important part is renunciates. If renunciates, and then the renunciates must be keeping themselves updated with the scriptures, literature. Wherever, whichever organization, Tyagigan, the Sannyasa Sampradaya or anything, renunciates, ours is traditional Sannyasa Sampradaya. There are many Vaishnavas who live without Sannyasa, but they belong to a group where they call upon God and struggle to realize God. The same purpose without Sannyasa. Whichever group goes in whatever way, the Lord will make them reach their goal. So, Sannyasa, Sampradaya, renunciation is the internal process of giving oneself to God unconditionally. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.